When we get sick, other than medicine, our body counts on its immune system to fight back and defend its health. A major part to the immune system is our white blood cells. I will focus and go over white blood cell production and the different types of white blood cells. Within our bones, blood is produced in red bone marrow containing the developmental stages of red blood cells, white blood cells, and megakaryotes. Red bone marrow, which contains hemocytoblasts. From hemoblastocytes, two divisions are separated into myeloid stem cells and lymphoid stem cells. Myeloid stem cells contain progenitor cells. Progenitor cells differentiate into specific types of cells, but is already more specific than a stem cell. It is separated into its target cell. The difference between stem cells and progenitor cells is that the stem cells can replicate indefinitely, whereas progenitor cells can divide only a limited number of times. There are three types. The first progenitor cell leads to formation of red blood cells, and the second leads to platelets. Not to mention there are colony-stimulating factors, 4 kinds. They stimulate the formation of white and red blood cells. The multi-CSF accelerates the production of granulocytes, monocytes, platelets, and red blood cells. GM-CSF stimulates production of granulocytes and monocytes by targeting the progenitor cells. The third progenitor cell breaks off to form blast cells, which are the very earliest and most immature cells of the myeloid cell line, such as the monoblast. The colony-stimulating factor MCSF stimulates the production of monocytes by targeting monoblasts. Another blast cell is the myeloblast, which the GCF stimulates production of granulocytes, which targets the myeloblasts. The myeloblast branches off to melanocytes, first maturation stage of granulocytes located in bone marrow. Myelocytes then go through another stage and become band cells. These band cells, 3 different kinds, finally then form the mature white blood cells: the basophil, the eosinophils, and the neutrophils. Basophils help with inflammatory response when tissue is damaged. They contain granulocytes, which also contain histamine and heparin. Histamine dilates blood vessels to bring resources into the area of damage. Heparin is an anticoagulate and stops blood clotting. Eosinophils are usually involved in infections of parasitic worms. Phagocytosis does not occur in eosinophils, but they release toxins to kill parasites. Neutrophils, most numerous of white blood cells, kill bacteria through phagocytosis. They are the first white blood cells when damage is done. Summary of the myeloid cell line. From the myeloid stem cell branches the progenitor cells, then the progenitor cells to the myeloblast or the monoblast, and then from the myeloblast makes the myelocytes, then undergoes as band cells, and finally to basophils, eosinophils, and neutrophils. To monoblasts. Monoblasts create promonocytes, which is the stage before its final cell type, monocytes. Monocytes are the largest white blood cells, but when they leave blood, they are now then become macrophage. Now to the lymphoid stem cells. In my opinion, this is a lot simpler than the myeloid stem cells. The lymphoid stem cells create lymphoblasts, which is an abnormal cell thought to be an immature lymphocyte and is now associated with a type of leukemia. Lymphoblasts turns to prolymphocytes and then to lymphocytes. Lymphocytes come in 2 types, B and T lymphocytes. B lymphocytes produce antibodies and release into the bloodstream to circulate and attack foreign particles. T cells help to fight infection. So white blood cells are categorized into 2 different types. So basophil, eosinophil, and neutrophils are granulocytes. These types of blood cells have granules in their cytoplasm. Granulocytes develop from red bone marrow. The opposite of granulocytes are the agranulocytes. Agranulocytes consist of monocytes and lymphocytes. They do not have granules in their cytoplasm. Agranulocytes develop from lymphoid, a myeloid tissue. And these are how white blood cells are produced. Thank you for watching.